This is Brandon with Fleet Feet, and today we'll be reviewing another exciting shoe, and that is the On Cloudsurfer Next. This is a lower stack neutral daily trainer from On, and it is more minimally cushioned than that of the On Cloudsurfer or the Cloud Eclipse. So for anyone who loves lower stack, stay tuned because this is the shoe for you. And with this special Paris colorway, I mean, it looks gorgeous. And not only that, but the gray version is clean as well. One of our reviewers, Mandy, complimented the looks of the shoe and said that when she was just walking down the street, she was getting compliments. She really enjoyed and gave an ode to On's just expertise in being able to create a stylish shoe. And before we go any further, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a bunch. Moving on to the upper. The upper is made up of an engineered woven mesh. The upper offers ample ventilation all around the shoe for more breathability. Along with that, you can tell that there is taping and some overlays just to provide a little bit more structure and support around the shoe. The heel collar and tongue are padded and the tongue is gusseted. I personally had no issues with the upper. I felt like the fit locked in true to size and I had just enough room in the toe box. And one of our reviewers, Caroline, on first impression, she put this shoe on and she felt the upper and she thought to herself, well, it must be made for comfort, right? But later on, after running in the shoe a little bit, she did find that it was more of a firmer, denser feel and it wasn't similar to that, which was matching to the comfortable upper. And for Mandy, she found that the toe box itself was just a little bit wider than she was used to. And for Nate, he found that the midfoot just had a little bit of bunching and extra material there. So that was something that he was sort of just iffy about. But otherwise, Nate did say that the fit and lockdown of the shoe was great. And if you're wondering whether the fit of this shoe or any other On shoe is gonna work best for you, you can go walk into your local Fleet Feet store, go get your foot scanned, go through the Fit ID experience, and go check out this shoe for yourself. Now, moving down to the midsole, it is made up of Cloudtech Phase with Helion. Cloudtech Phase is the geometry of the shoe and Helion is what the midsole compound is made of. One thing that we will say about the shoe is that it is much more stable than that of the On Cloudsurfer, and that is because of how much firmer the shoe is and the lower stack. And one of our reviewers, Nate, who usually doesn't like squishy shoes, really enjoyed the firmer feel and just liked how much more stable it was. And one of our reviewers, Mandy, definitely found that this had a very nice, smooth rolling sensation to it, and that is because of the Cloudtech Phase technology. Mandy did find that compared to the On Cloudsurfer, this shoe just had less cushion and less bounce. Well, Mandy is right. It does have less cushion and certainly less stack in this shoe. The stack of this shoe comes in at 30 in the heel and 24 in the toe, giving it a 6mm drop. This is definitely one of the lower stack shoes that we're seeing On come out with recently. Now, moving on to the outsole. The outsole is made up of almost full rubber coverage on the bottom here, and we had no issues with traction. And with the Cloudtech Phase geometry, it just adds a little bit more durability and traction than that of the Cloudtech that we know from the previous models of On. Now, moving on to the ride and performance. Caroline found that this shoe definitely offers a more responsive and firmer ride. With the lower stack height, the lower heel to toe drop, she just found that it all sort of led to one word, and that was responsiveness. She definitely found that this shoe was very fast and responsive. And for me, I agree. It's definitely a firmer shoe, but it is softer than that of the Cloud Runner, and even for a lower stack shoe, I think it's a lower stack shoe in a lot of the right ways. I enjoy the Cloudtech Phase geometry much more than that of the Cloudtech that we're used to in a lot of other On shoes. I think it just creates for a more smooth ride. And I think that this is going to be a shoe that's going to be great for runners, gym goers, and walkers alike. And now let's move on to some stats. The weight of the On Cloudsurfer Next comes in at 10 ounces or 285 grams for the men's model, or 8.1 ounces or 230 grams for the women's model. And what we did find is that the On Cloudsurfer Next is actually heavier than the On Cloudsurfer. So we reached out to On to find out why. On did get back to us and they said that the foam, while it is a little bit denser, it is going to create for more weight in the shoe, and there is added rubber traction on the bottom of the shoe here, so for those reasons it is a heavier shoe. And the On Cloudsurfer Next comes in at $150, which is going to be the cheapest option out of the three neutral daily trainers from On, with the On Cloudsurfer coming in at $160 and the On Cloud Eclipse at $180. But if you don't want want to spend $150 on the On Cloudsurfer Next. There are some select colors on fleetfeet.com right now for the On Cloudsurfer around $125. And if you want to move away from On, the Hoka Mach 6 comes in at $140 and the Karhu Iconi 3.0 at $150. And if you want to learn more about this shoe or check it out for yourself, you can go online at fleetfeet.com or check it out on the blog. What video or comparison do you want to see next? Make sure to drop that in the comments below. But for now, if you are looking for another On shoe to talk about, or if you want to learn more about On shoes, you can check it out in our other video, the On Cloud Monster 2 versus the On Cloud Monster Hyper.